I pulled this from the USA Today Newswire. It's about an idea that's being launched by a young lady named Kimberly Meadows Clark. She's talking about starting a HBCU basketball association for professional basketball. And before you laugh at it, let me give you uh, some insight on that. First of all, she already owns a semi-professional basketball team. She's been lauded by the likes of Cornell University. She's putting her own money in. She already has sponsors. Uh, and I'm going to tell you how this could work. They're launching initially. They're not doing anything about the MEAC schools, those schools up on the coast, North Carolina A&T, probably Howard, and all those. So she's just starting in six uh, core cities. Uh, she's launching in Jackson, Mississippi. So you have those schools: Jackson State, Alcorn, Tougaloo, and Mississippi Valley's a little further away. But if you give Mississippi Valley's night at one of the uh, games, I'm sure they'll jump in the car and get there. She's launching in Atlanta, so you could appeal to current and alumnus of Clark Atlanta. Morehouse School of Medicine, MD night, that could be big. Spelman College, the ITC, Interdenominational Theological Center, and former graduates of it's no longer school, but it's Morris Brown. They're proud of where they went. She's launching in Daytona Beach, Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M are in close tabs there. Launching in Houston is one of the six core cities, so you could pull from the alumnus and current students of Texas Southern, uh, Prairie View. Uh, gosh, I can't even read my own handwriting. I took Jarvis, St. Philip's, Wiley College, and Jarvis Christian. Uh, Birmingham is the last city. Birmingham is the fifth city. Birmingham, you could pull from Shelton State, Gadsden State, uh, Alabama State, Alabama A&M. Uh, Boy, I tell you, my handwriting sometimes is so bad. Miles College, Talladega, Stillman, and Tuskegee in Oakwood. So she does have um, a core base, and New Orleans is the sixth city. So you have Xavier, Dillard, Southern, and Grambling. Now, let me give you a couple ideas how she could possibly make it. Uh, just say she's in Atlanta and she learns how to market and pull it off with the church market, and she has New Birth Night or World Changers Night, some big mega church. Or in New Orleans, you have Greater St. Stephen's Night. Or how about this one? In for the New Orleans campus, if instead of the old ladies dancing at halftime as they do in most NBA games, how about her having Pharmacist Night? And the pharmacists just come out to mid court and they share with you for about 20 or 30 minutes. What There are sponsors that would be able to afford her that can't afford to advertise with the NBA. Now, before it sounds crazy, before you send me to the crazy house as the guy who offered the $24 tennis shoes to all of those school kids years ago, and they laughed him off the stage when it came from the same place overseas where they make the Air Jordans. Listen to this. I went up and I looked and I researched the Big Three league that Ice Cube launched. Those, the average salary is about 100 grand, not NBA standards. But if you're a guy that has the talent and you're just sitting around thinking about your old basketball days, what's wrong with 100 grand? What's wrong with the exposure that you get from the league? What's wrong with connecting with the fans? Some of those guys that are playing for Ice Cube are financially solvent. They just want to have their name called again. So she might be on to something. Deion Sanders called out the NFL because there were zero HBCU out of 23 HBCUs. There were zero players drafted in 2020. There were four drafted in the last draft. So maybe there's some room here. There's one current player on the NBA roster, and that's Robert Covington. No HBCU player has been selected in the NBA draft for the past 10 years. So if they won't let you in the door, sometimes you have to create your own. I remember about 10 or 15 years ago, I had a group of websites that I created for the area that did phenomenally well. My wife was a web designer, so she could do everything that I needed her to do. And I had a big partnership with Career Builder. One guy, boy, when you land somebody hitting your site and they advertise some jobs through Career Builder, that's a big lick. And then, of course, the Match.com, but Match.com got way too crazy for me as a preacher to continue to be affiliated with. But this is what I learned. When you go somewhere where no one else goes, everyone's going to say you're crazy. But everybody wants to go where there's eyes. I think it's an incredible opportunity. I cold called the Grizzlies many years back. I'm telling you, and God knows it's the truth. And I almost closed the Grizzlies on the first call with an idea of what they could do. I was collaborating with some guys out of Houston called I-10 Marketing, and I don't even know if they're still in that space. But I had an incredible idea for a night for the Grizzlies. I shared it with a buddy of mine that worked for the chamber. He shared it with another guy that was prominent in black business circles. We met. The gentleman from the Grizzlies would not sign with me right away because in a lot of circles, people have in their minds that there has to be a gatekeeper to approve what you do in one community, as if one or two business guys know everything that's happening in the community. But anyway, the thing was, I met with the guys, and the guys used my idea to close the Grizzlies. And the rest was history. One guy turned it into excess money because of the associations. So watch who you share your ideas with, but it didn't matter. I still could have done it because I didn't implement. This young lady, if she implements, there are so many there's so many areas that she could disrupt a league. If NBA players are making $65 million in $60 million, which Dame, the young man out of Portland, he's going to make close to $60 million this year. You think NBA ticket prices can stay the same? The NBA is going to price out a whole segment of the population. Thus, she can make room. There have been small leagues. There's the Drew League. There's a league here. They used to call it the Bluff City Classic. A young man in Memphis just started another league, and it's starting to pick up some steam. So I see the way that this lady could really make it. What if you have every fraternity and every sorority's got that old soror or old frat that still wants to step? So instead of the Grizzly girls, you got that old Q from 40 years back that wants to step on the court at halftime. Or you can have beautiful, distinguished single women from the AUC, from Spelman College. And I promise you the brothers in Atlanta will come. So look, there's so many ideas. When people lock you out of the door, it's always your decision to build a door for yourself. Have a great day. Good luck. I pray God's blessings and favor on your league. Thank you.